Mecca Pact suffers its first setback as a multi-million-dollar fighter jet crashes, raising fresh questions over the alliance. Turkey's prized F-16 crashes and burns during a routine sortie on August 12, sending shockwaves through the country's defense establishment. A Turkish F-16 fighter jet is set ablaze after reportedly suffering a malfunction in the skies, triggering an emergency response. The pilot ejects from the stricken F-16 and survives the shocking crash in Yalova, avoiding a potentially fatal outcome. Was there any foul play behind the F-16 crash? Turkey's defense ministry says the cause will be established after a detailed investigation. Ministry of Defense, Turkey said, and I quote, "One of our F-16 aircraft belonging to our Air Force has suffered a crash during a training flight in Yalova, and our pilot has ejected and survived. The cause of the crash will be determined as a result of the detailed examination to be conducted." End quote. The shocking Turkish F-16 crash comes after the Houthis threatened Erdogan, adding another layer of tension to an already volatile regional landscape. The Houthis have warned Turkey against joining what they called Saudi Arabia's aggression in Yemen, as Ankara moves closer to Riyadh on regional defense. Houthi official Haitham al-Assad said Turkey should remember Saudi Arabia's 2015 military intervention and the conflict that followed. Al-Assad warned that anyone joining Saudi Arabia in what the Houthis call the siege of Yemen would be welcome to test their resolve. Haitham al-Assad said, and I quote, "The Turks are well aware that the Yemeni people's battle with the Saudi regime began the moment Saudi Arabia declared its aggression and siege on Yemen on March 26, 2015. And that the battle continues with its new dynamics until our people reclaim their rights, break the imposed siege, and put an end to Saudi intervention in their internal affairs. The Turks, more than anyone else, also understand that Yemen is not Najd, and that Sana'a is not Diriyah. And to my knowledge, they read history well and draw lessons from the experiences of their ancestors. And whoever wishes to join the Saudi in his aggression and siege on our people, welcome to him, let him try, with this sea before him." Unquote. The warning came as Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan moved ahead with a joint defense pact, raising fresh questions over Ankara's regional security role. Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan said Iran was not the target of the Mecca Defense Pact and rejected suggestions of an immediate threat to Tehran. Fidan said countries that had not attacked Turkey were not currently in Ankara's sights, while explaining the pact's defensive purpose. He said the agreement was technically similar to NATO's Article 5 Collective Defense Clause, creating a commitment to mutual security. Fidan also said Red Sea maritime security was directly linked to Turkey's interests and supported Ankara joining the Saudi-led international coalition. The Turkish foreign minister said participation in the coalition would help protect maritime security across the strategically important Red Sea region. Saudi Arabia is reportedly expecting imminent attacks from both its northern and southern borders, according to a Reuters report citing regional security assessments. Intelligence shared by Saudi Arabia, the United States and other Gulf nations has reportedly warned of possible coordinated attacks against the kingdom in the near future. The reported attacks could be carried out by Yemen's Houthis and Iraqi militias believed to be backed by Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, according to officials. The Saudi official said potential targets could include civilian infrastructure such as energy facilities, commercial ports and major airports across the kingdom. Riyadh's decade-long conflict with the Houthis has increasingly become intertwined with the broader regional confrontation involving Iran and its allied groups. Houthi operations in the Red Sea have already disrupted shipping and affected Saudi oil export routes, adding to growing regional security concerns. Despite the security threats, a Saudi official said Riyadh continues to support de-escalation efforts and remains committed to pursuing a negotiated settlement with Iran. The official also said ongoing mediation efforts between Riyadh and Tehran appear to be moving in the right direction despite persistent regional tensions. Saudi Arabia believes the planned attacks could be intended to derail the diplomatic process and undermine efforts to reduce tensions across the region. Riyadh is now moving to strengthen defense and security cooperation with key regional partners as concerns over future attacks continue to grow. Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan are expected to sign a new defense cooperation agreement during high-level meetings in the kingdom. Pakistan's Prime Minister, Shahbaz Sharif, arrived in Saudi Arabia on August 6 ahead of the anticipated trilateral security discussions. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan is expected to arrive in Saudi Arabia on August 7 to participate in the strategic defense talks. Meanwhile, a Saudi official said military and security cooperation with the United States remains very high across all levels despite regional challenges. The official added that Riyadh is fully prepared to take all necessary measures to respond decisively to any future aggression against the kingdom. On August 6, Yemeni forces accused the Houthis of deliberately targeting multiple military positions across several key areas. Yemen's government-aligned military units said these attacks caused significant casualties along with heavy material damage to their positions. The 1st Emergency Division specifically confirmed that its own camps were among the multiple sites targeted during these attacks. Meanwhile, the Houthis claimed their attacks were specifically aimed at Saudi military deployments stationed inside Yemeni territory.
In its continued aggression and siege against our dear Yemeni people for nearly 12 years, the criminal Saudi enemy has observed large Saudi military buildups in their final stages, aimed at escalating the aggression against the liberated provinces and the Yemeni people to deter them from their stance on ending the unjust siege. Therefore, our armed forces conducted a large-scale and precise military operation targeting Saudi enemy troop concentrations in the areas of Al-Ruwayq, Al-Ibr, Al-Thaniya, and other camps belonging to the so-called 1st and 3rd Emergency Divisions, using a large number of ballistic missiles and drones. The operation resulted in the following: the death and injury of hundreds of Saudi enemy mercenaries, the destruction and burning of a large number of Saudi enemy camps, troop concentrations, depots, and weapons in the Al-Wadiyah area in the east of the country, the destruction of a large number of military vehicles that exist in the targeted camps. The Yemeni armed forces warned the criminal Saudi enemy against any act of aggression against our country and our people, and it will bear the consequences of any escalation. We advise those misled and deceived among our people to leave the Saudi enemy camps and return to their homes before it is too late. We assure our dear Yemeni people and all governorates that the armed forces are fully prepared to confront any escalation. We call upon all our people to remain vigilant and confront any Saudi aggression, and to strike Saudi troop concentrations wherever they may be. We will continue the siege-for-siege equation until the siege on our country is lifted.
These attacks followed earlier Yemeni security operations that were specifically aimed at dismantling Houthi smuggling networks across the region. Yemen's Saudi-backed government forces also separately targeted various armed groups along with several wanted suspects during this same period. These broader operations were primarily aimed at securing key roads and territories currently under government control. Both the 1st Military Region and the nation's shield forces actively took part in carrying out these coordinated security operations. These developments unfolded even as the Houthis simultaneously expanded their own operations toward the northern Red Sea region.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.